right, folks, here we go. Solving two-step equations, okay? Now, you already wrote the title, okay? And you already wrote this example, 2x plus 3 equals 15. And again, you know, yesterday I took my time with one-step equations because even though the one-step equations are super easy, right? Lauren, can you sit in there? Okay, thanks. You know, even though, okay, the one-step equations are super easy, okay, that wasn't what I was concerned about. What I was concerned about was the process, was the thinking behind what it is that you're doing and how we solve for the variable, okay? And so what did I say we need to get in the habit of doing on yesterday? Circle the variable. Everybody circle it, do it now, even though it's corny, I don't care, do it now. Okay. Why are we circling the variable? Once again, to remind you that we are visually telling ourselves, okay, that we want to get that variable all by itself on one side of the equal sign. So if we want to get this variable all by itself on this side of the equal sign, then you tell me what needs to be moved to the other side of the equal sign, eyes up here, to get this x all by itself. What needs to be moved? The what and the what needs to be moved to the other side? The 2 and the 3. How do we move them? By doing the opposite. Here's our opposite operation, man, right? By doing the opposite of what we were given. Now, because we're doing more than one step, we have to consider, what are we going to do first? Okay, well, I want you to write this in your notes. Number 1, okay, it is usually the case, okay, whatever I write on the board, you're writing in your notes. It is usually the case that when we are looking for what to do first, you're always going to want to choose the easiest thing first if possible, if it makes sense. 99.9% of the time, okay, you're going to look for a quick add or subtract opportunity, okay? And then secondly, or lastly, you're going to look for a quick multiply or divide situation. So usually it's the case that this is the order that it happens in, okay? So you guys, keeping that in mind, let's look at what we have. Do we have a add or subtract opportunity there? Yes, we do. Where? Right here. But we have to do what? The opposite of what we were given. What is the opposite of a positive 3? Negative 3. And whatever we do on the left side of the equal sign, we also do to the right. So those cancel. Bring down your 2x equals 12. 15 minus 3 is 12. Now, you guys, I'm saying this because, okay, I hope that the way that I'm explaining it, talking you through it, is explaining the thought process behind it, because when we get into multi-step, you guys, we have to keep thinking that everything we do needs to isolate that variable and to move everything to the other side so that we get the variable on one side all by itself, okay? So is this variable all by itself? No, it is not. Circle it. Do it now. So we look at it. This is 2 times x, right? How do we move that 2 to the other side? By doing the opposite of what is happening here. What is happening here? 2 times x. What is the opposite of times? Divide. So what are we going to divide by? We're going to divide by what we want to move, and we want to move the 2. So what happens here? They cancel, and then 12 divided by 2 is 6. Are you with me? Good, you guys? Fabulous. Write this example in your notes. We're going to do example number 2 together. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to erase this because you should have already written that in your notes, and I got to work down the page. Here we go. Okay. Okay, same concept. There's our second example. Right? step algebraic equation. Okay? So what do? Circle it. Do it now. We are telling ourselves that we want to get that x all by itself. Okay? So if we want this x all by itself on this side of the equal sign, what do we need to move, okay, to the other side of that equal sign to get that x all by itself? What needs to be moved? The 8 and the -4. How do we do that? By doing the opposite of what we were given. And what are we looking for first? An easy add or subtract opportunity if possible. Do we have an easy add or subtract opportunity here? Yes, we do. We have a -4. What is the opposite of a -4? +4. Those cancel and bring down what we have left over, right? Now, this should remind you of what we did yesterday with our one-step equations, right? Have we solved for x yet, you guys? No, we have not. So go ahead and circle, because we're telling ourselves we got to get that all by itself. We dealt with the one-step equations with fractions, right? How do we get rid of what's in the denominator? How do we move that 8 to the other side? How do we get this x all by itself? What do we need to do? We have to do the opposite of what we were given. What were we given? X divided by 8. What is the opposite of divided by 8, you guys? Multiplied by 8. So let's do it. Do it now. You with me? Okay. What happens to the 8s? They cancel. Bring over your x. What is 6 times 8? 48. And we're done. How are we doing? Next example. Moving up. We're moving on up to the east side. That's horrible singing. There it is, you guys. Here it is. I'm going to erase the rest. Example number 3, do it now. Okay? Write it down. And what are we going to circle? We're circling the what? Say it. The variable. Thank you. Circle it now. This is our last example. Oh, no, it's not. Sorry, people. We got 3 examples for this video. I'm going to let you try this. No, I got to discuss this. I got to do this in the video. We have to discuss that. Okay, so here we are. Ooh, oh, hello. We have a division symbol, okay? Don't freak out. Put a star. Put the smiley face. Put the heart. Put the exclamation marks. Okay, do it enthusiastically. Wake up and smell the coffee beans and do not fear. Okay, here we have a 2-step equation where we have a fraction. Okay, now, you guys, we've got this number in the denominator. But just like we did with our other one-step algebraic equations, right? How did we get rid of fractions? How did we get rid of what's in the denominator? We multiplied by whatever was in the denominator. So remember for 2-step, I said, you're always going to look for an easy add or subtract opportunity and then a multiply or divide 99.9% of the time. This is not one of those times. I'm going to tell you, whenever you have something like this, write this down. Get rid of the fraction. Okay? Get rid of it, people. Yes. Do it immediately. Do it instantaneously. Do it right away. Yes. We have to get rid of the fraction. How do we do that? By multiplying by whatever is in this denominator. So let's all do it, folks. Put those gosh darn parentheses, and here we go. Whatever you do to the left side of the equal sign, you are also doing to the right. What happens to those 3s? They cancel. Okay, let's clean this up. And tell me, what do we have left over in the numerator that we need to bring down, Javi? X minus 7. And -12 times a +3 gives me a -36. Are you all with me? Are you guys with me? Okay. Have we solved for x? No, we have not. Circle it. Do it now. That's why this is called a two-step algebraic equation. So, Angel, what is the last thing we need to do to move this -7 to the other side of the equal sign? Add. What's the opposite of a -7? +7. Do it now. Bring down the x. Okay. What is a -36? Think of the number line, you guys. What is a -36 plus 7? Give us. Lily? Negative. We're still in the negative. Why? Because this +7 is not larger than that -36, right? We're still in the negative, you guys. -29. It's okay if you thought +29, but we're training the brain to think better, to think more accurately. Okay? Any questions? Moving on, last example. Okay? Muy importante. Okay? Here we go. Okay? Here it is. Write it down. Do it now. Moving on up. Okay? Believe it or not, this is a two-step. Okay? What is the very first thing we're supposed to do? Circle it. Do it now. We need to get that t all by itself. Okay? But what is in front of the t, Cam?
The negative sign.
The negative symbol. Now, even though it's not there, Focaroonies, what do we know is right there? In front. Yes, Lily. A 1. Do it now. That is a -1. Even though there is no 1 there, all it says is -t. Even though it's not there, you know there's a 1 there. That is a -1 times t, a -1 t, okay? So, but we want to get the t all by itself, okay? So, do we have an easy addition or subtraction opportunity presented itself? Yes, we do. So, what do we need to move, Zyrael? Yes! So, what's the opposite of a +8? -8. Do it now. Okay, bring down your -t equals 3 minus 8 gives us a -5. Are we done? Are we done? No, we are not. We have a negative symbol in front of that t. Eyes up here. Eyes up here. Okay? How do we get rid of that negative symbol? That's a -1 times t. What is the opposite of times? Divide. So what are we going to divide by? -1. That's a -1 times t. What's the opposite of times? Divide. What are we dividing by? We want to divide by what we want to move. And we want to move that -1 to the other side to get the t all by itself. Okay? Very important, you guys. You're going to see this in your assignment. These cancel. Bring down your t. Now here it is. A negative divided by a negative gives you a what, folks? Positive what? 5. That's a wrap. Lauren, press, thank you.